I don't know how much of this will record, but late night thoughts and updates. I was able to record one video today, kind of like what I used to do when I was making like inspirational videos talking about like coping and trying to heal through trauma and things like that. I did get a good night's sleep last night, which was nice. But I did have like a moment of kind of like sleep paralysis that happens, but that could be a trauma response. I did feed my dog a little bit more food because I get nervous about her food being messed with, and then I did eat a little bit of like deli meat. I haven't eaten anything in like so long because I've been so afraid to eat. Yeah, so that was weird. It's just weird because I haven't eaten anything in like the longest time. And you kind of have to conquer your fear, right? Because if you don't conquer your fears, then because my fear ever since after the DoorDash thing that happened before, with my food, I didn't want to say DoorDash because I don't like calling out, because I don't think DoorDash is bad. I don't think any of the food delivery services are bad per se. It's more so you never know if whoever the vendor is the one doing it, or whoever delivers it. But that's why they put little seals and stuff to prevent stuff like human trafficking and sex trafficking and all that stuff, which is really good. I'm glad that restaurants and vendors are doing that, but there's only so much that people can do, right? But I will say, I don't know I did buy like a sports energy drink, kind of, because I needed electrolytes. I don't even know how healthy those things are, but I did buy one. And because I'm craving, I know sugar's not good for you, but my body's like craving it. So after I drink it, I do feel like my chest and my heart specifically feels like compressed. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like tightness, a little bit. I also realize soda, I kind of need to stay away from soda, but soda has caffeine, and caffeine is good if like you ever feel like you're losing energy. Caffeine is really good to boost your energy up. So I'm trying to figure out how to navigate that best I can. So yeah. Other updates, I am trying to figure out where to move to next, because Chicago, Illinois is really not kind of my thing. I realize city life is not really something that I feel privy to. I used to, years ago, if you asked me years ago, I would have loved to live in the city. It's just really hustle bustle. If you're someone that is like into that fast-paced kind of vibe, I would say that this is like a great fit. If you like the concrete jungle kind of vibe, it's a great fit. But if you're like me and you like to be in like vast expanse of land and things like that and nature, it's probably not the best fit. So I've been kind of looking for, and I'll be honest, I don't mind sharing my story, because again, maybe I've watched other people share their stories and it's helped me feel not so alone. So because the targeting and stuff has taken such a toll on my finances and everything, I basically I can't do a lease. Well, this is really bright. I can't do a lease, like a traditional lease, like other people do, because last time, like when I moved to Philadelphia and I started sensing weird stuff, I had to break the lease, and then that you have to pay money for that. So one thing I do feel grateful for is there are like hotels. I will be honest, hotels I have not had good experiences in, because I've had just a weird cast of characters, like just weird people in general. I've been sedated in hotels. I know it's hard to believe, but like I've been sedated in hotels. I'm not kidding when I say that. Like, kind of like, almost like, when you like wake up from being jet lagged and you go on a trip, like a long flight, and then you're like so exhausted and you just feel like I've woken up with weird tastes in my mouth, like a weird, it just tastes weird. And I'm like, the air shouldn't taste weird. So that's happened to me a lot in hotels. Fortunately, I haven't been like taken, or like no one came into the room. I always had the lock on. But some people could even, put stuff through the door, the bottom of the door, if they wanted to, or put stuff on your packages in your hotel room. So always be really mindful of that. And as a woman traveling alone, you have to be really careful. And I'm sorry, I look like a zombie right now. I have no makeup on. Literally my face, I have no makeup on. But I'm not doing this to get points about the way I look. It's more so just a PSA for safety and stuff. But hotels, I know people do get rates on hotels and stuff. I'm not really privy to staying in a hotel. And to a future employer, if you ever come across my video, I have nothing to hide. I'm an excellent worker. I've just been through something really hard, and I hope that doesn't detract, because you never know. People find everything about, like if you can have your name linked to like, everything, Gmail, this, that, but I have nothing to hide, I've just been through a really unfortunate circumstance that was out of my control. I couldn't do anything about it. So but you have to, do your best. You conquer your fears and you move forward, and that's it. I feel blessed to be here. I'm still alive. Every day feels kind of like a battle, to be honest, because I get nervous, with my food and things like that. Living in a building is also, it's just scarier, because you have different neighbors, and, some people seem really nice, some people you just never know. What else? So yeah, I'm now on the hunt to try to figure out where to move to. I don't know. My heart kind of wants, like, I'm sorry, my lips are so chapped. I have this bad habit of like going like this, and because my lips are so dry and so chapped. But I've been trying to figure out where to go to next, because I in terms of safety, because that's important to me. Walkability, being able to walk to different places. But part of me, when you go through trauma and stuff, part of you is so eager to just hide and close yourself off to the world. That's kind of what I wish I could do, but you gotta work, you got to you have to show up, you have to try. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing, is I'm trying. And it does suck when you see your life kind of fade away and fall apart when it wasn't even your fault, to begin with. And here's how I know that, because I've never been arrested. I've gotten like 2 traffic tickets my entire life. And they're both like, one was a speeding ticket and one I turned down the wrong street. And that's it. I've done, and I threw a cup out the window. But I've never done drugs. I pride myself on that, because there's a lot of people that are addicted to opioids and stuff. That's why I get so nervous about my food, because I'm like, what if there's like this and that and ketamine and fentanyl? I mean, this shit is real. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I wouldn't make that up and put myself out there on the internet and share that with someone unless I didn't think it was serious. Because I've woken up and I felt really loopy. I felt disoriented, and I go, why would anyone do that to my food and my water, but I'm still here by the grace of God. I feel really grateful for that. And Bonnie's still here too. And I get nervous too because sometimes she acts more lethargic and stuff and tired. And I wonder what was in her food, you know. Anyways, but I am trying to figure out what my next move, no pun intended, should be. I'm kind of skeptical. You know, a lot of Airbnbs and there's a lot of furnish finders and stuff where people open up their homes. You know, God bless them, like to strangers. Like they rent out their rooms and then they have people literally rent the room. And I did consider that option, but given everything I've gone through, I am like extremely reluctant and nervous to do that. And I've spoken to different landlords and stuff, or like, you know, the house owners, and they seem amicable, you know, for the most part. But you don't know, you know. I've had weird situations with HVAC systems, like even in my childhood home, and I lived with my parents. So, you know, it's scary because you're living with a stranger, right? And I don't want to be that weirdo to be like, you know, what if I have a bad dream? What if I have a panic attack? What if I have an allergy attack? Or what if the person I'm living with does something? Like, that's a thing. People do that, you know? And you don't know, you know, you don't know who you're living with, and it's a huge risk. But people do it. It's on Airbnb and it's on furniture. Like, people literally, they rent their homes out and their rooms. I mean, that's a very huge risk on someone else's end to do that, you know. And but everything I've gone through, I'm nervous, you know, because when you have your own space, you can control that space, right? And also too, another thing is that I like to I like to dance sometimes, and like I grew up doing dance, like, and I like to stretch and I like to do yoga, and sometimes I'll sing for fun. I don't sing professionally. I just grew up doing it, and it's like one of those things. Anyone, if you're a musician, if you like music, you'll understand what I mean. And music has been like the one thing that has helped me cope through a lot of this stuff, is just like sound. And hey, you want to sit here with me? And I don't know, it's like I listen to Tibetan singing bowls. Hi, baby. Hello. I don't know if this is sanitary, but I still allow her to do it anyways. So, Tibetan singing bowls, EDM. If you don't like electronic dance music, I do like that. And then I also listen to, like, I have like a happy songs playlist. There's a bunch of different artists on there. But I remember 2024, 2025, the Bleachers were like a pretty good, not pretty good, they're really good. Not pretty good, they're really good. Jack Antonoff and his band, like, I didn't even know that there was a band. I didn't even know they had a band, but there's a song, Tiny Moose, and then, what the heck is that other song? And then Modern Girl's another one. I listen to, like, Bruno Mars, always, you know, his music is so funky and uplifting and groovy. Like, if you don't dance to a Bruno Mars song, then that's just sad. So, right, baby? So, yeah. I'm sure I have there's a bunch more other songs, but anyways, but music has been something that's helped me cope throughout this whole experience. I'm really sad one of my AirPods, actually, it lost power. I don't know why. One AirPod works, the other one doesn't, so, but you know what, I make do. I'm grateful for it, and yeah. But I am figuring out where to move to next. I consider the West Coast, but that is a very long drive, because I don't want to take a plane, because I know this one would not do well on a plane, and I am very scared after all the mishaps and stuff that have happened in the past what's it called, few years up with the plane stuff. I don't feel comfortable going on a plane at all, so I'm not going to do that. What else, baby? Okay, thank you. And I just want to find a home that's safe. And it's hard, and but it's true. Having your own private space is it is a gift. It really is. And at this point, beggars can't be choosers. And I used to be like, I want this, and I want the oven, and I want this, and I want that. And I'm like, you know, after going through this weird food thing, you know, I'm just grateful basically to have a roof over my head. That's really. Hi. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's what I'm most grateful for right now. Hello. I'm grateful for this one too. I've been praying hardcore like every night now because right? Because I just, you know, I want her to be safe, and I love her so much, and I am contemplating creating a GoFundMe account. I never thought I'd be asking for money ever in my life. I feel so weird doing that, but right? But you know what? It's times are tough right now, and I'm broke. Like, I have no money. I get so embarrassed if a company not Googles me, does a background check and they see my finances. They'll be like, oh my God, this girl. But they don't know my story, you know. They don't know what I've been through, and it's just really unfortunate because I had this really awesome life, and people can be really mean. And the last thing I want to do is end up on the street. So, you know, and I don't want to live in a tent. No offense to people. If there are people, by the way, I know that, let me backtrack. I know that there are people who live a nomadic lifestyle. I'm not trying to like undermine that or judge that. I know that there are people who legitimately do van life, and they go and they legitimately want to camp, and that's their thing, and they enjoy it. But I didn't want to do camping or van life or RV life, which I can't even afford a camper van, by the way. Those really amazing, like, super stealthy camper vans, I can't afford that. And I can't afford a RV either. Those are beautiful, by the way. I've seen some really amazing RVs on Airbnb. Like, they're beautiful. Like, I never knew how, like, grandiose they can be, but like, they come like with an oven, a shower, like everything, and you can go anywhere. Like, it's a house on wheels. Like, who wouldn't want that, you know? But every car that I've been in, I will be honest, every car that I've been in, I've had weird like gases. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like weird gases or chemicals that come through the air vents, and like, feel like they suffocate me a little bit. So that's just kind of, it's scary. And I try to keep the windows open so she gets fresh air. But I would be traveling by car. I mean, just because the plane thing, if I could do Amtrak, I would, but I can't, you know, I have to pack all my things, and it is going to be costly with a U-Haul and stuff. So again, I'm trying to figure out what would be the best course of action. Sorry, my dog's head is like right there. But you can see the back of her head, of Bonnie Bailey's head. You see the back of Bonnie Bailey's head? You want to say hi? You say hello? I'm just hoping that she's okay, because I don't know what is in her food. Right, baby? And also, you know what really sucks is that I'm afraid to leave my apartment, because since I've had people come into my apartment before, I get nervous about leaving it and taking her for a walk, because I don't want people to, I don't want people to come into the apartment. So, here, baby, can you sit over here? Come here. Thank you. Why are you wiggling your butt? Can you sit here? Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you. Are you gonna sit on me? Okay, so anyways, that's the update for now, right? And yeah, I did get hired for a job though, which is good. But the only thing is that, like I said, the drug screen, I'm waiting to get that back. But I don't do drugs, so if it came back positive, that would be proof that I was drugged or whatever, right? But there's also some other opportunities I'm gonna apply for as well. Because the thing is, since I haven't worked that much, the pay that I'm eligible for is not that high. So it's like entry level pay, basic pay. But you know what? I'm grateful for it. I just don't know how. I'm meeting with a financial advisor tomorrow to discuss like budgeting and all this stuff, because at the end of the day, okay. At the end of the day, I need to do that. Even though I've Googled it, like how to do a budget. I've looked on Pinterest and stuff. But the thing is like, how do you divvy up your paycheck and stuff, and how do you tackle debt? And now that I added more debt because I bought more medical testing for myself, I don't even know, Okay. So that's that. But a prayer would be very nice, for Bonnie and I both. I believe in praying. This is called a wet willy. This is what she does. So she looks inside my ear. I had someone recently tell me, your dog's not an ESA dog. Literally, I had someone tell me, your dog's not an ESA dog. That's not a legit ESA dog, or that's not a PSD dog. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I'm like, by the way, anyone that wants to say it, a service, so Bonnie is a psychiatric service dog because I was diagnosed with CPTSD. She probably has anxiety too, right? We both help each other, right? We help each other cope. But she is a psychiatric service dog. I did take a training course, a very brief training course like a year and a half or 2 years ago. And you gonna sit your butt? Siéntate. Sit, please. Sit. Sit down. No, you don't want to sit? Okay, fine. She is not the same as a service dog that you would see like in Susquehanna, service dog. She actually, how do I explain it? So she will go ahead, and if she senses, if I was going to have a panic attack or an anxiety attack, she will come to my aid, and she will either apply some sort of comfort, like there's something called DPT, deep pressure therapy. She will like place her head on my shin, or she does this thing sometimes where she rests her paws on my shoulders, or one paw on my shoulder. She will or put her paw on my, she's very intuitive. If she were to actually be trained, she could probably be trained as a service dog if she wanted to. She's reached that level of maturity where she can do that, but she will put her paw on my leg, and then she will lick my shin, or like you just saw, and amongst other things, and it's pretty remarkable, and I feel very blessed for that. So yeah, and so she's a psychiatric service dog, if anyone was wondering. But she and I are a team. What are you bringing me? Are you bringing me a present? This is her favorite toy. Her favorite toy right now is one that I bought her from, what the heck is it called? Benebone? And it's actually a really good brand because it doesn't have any sort of, where is it? Here. Any sort of, it doesn't, I think it's non-toxic or something, but she loves it. And It helps with her teeth and everything. So, right? This is what she loves to do. So, she loves chewing on that. And, yeah. Right, Pepper? But she does provide me much comfort. We are a team, and I've been having to find places that are pet friendly. And I don't want to lose her. And when you're targeted and stuff, it sucks because I have to make sure that she's safe and that her food is safe. And also too, I think she has allergies as well. And I ran out of her medication for that. So, prayers are very much appreciated. What else is there? ¿Qué más? So yeah, trying to move out of Chicago. Still considering I have a bad habit of picking up my cuticles. I apologize. When I'm anxious, I will pick up I have really dry skin too on my thumbs, so I go like that. But I am, trying to find another place to move to. Dating did not go as well as I'd hoped here, like I thought it would, which is okay. And you would think Chicago, I mean, I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, Chicago is teeming with men. No! That is the furthest thing from, I mean, it is, but like, it was very shallow interactions. Men need to be coached on their, you know what people need? They need like, Will Smith in the movie Hitch? They need that guy. They need Hitch to coach them on like how to talk to women or something, because sometimes it's just like, I swear, it's like men's social skills or their ability to talk to women or woo a woman is like, because you want to have good conversations, thought-provoking conversations. The best guys that I've spoken to, I'm not going to say their names, but the ones that have been most memorable in my mind in the past few years since I've dated, the 2 or 3 years, were the ones that were they were intellectual and not super outgoing, but good conversationalists. They were able to ask questions. There was reciprocity and genuine interest in my life, and that made the intimacy better too, which is actually what I talked about in the video that I just recorded. I'm just trying to figure out how to edit the video so it looks cute, because my Canva subscription ended and I don't want to put more money on a credit card that I can't afford. But yeah, I was talking about how to navigate desire as someone, if you have, and lust and all that, if you have morals, ethics, whatever. But yeah, the majority of men that have been memorable have been the ones